Did you know that before signing with the Nets, James Harden turned down a 2-season contract extension of $51 million per year? That would surely have made him the highest paid NBA player in the world, but if you think that amount is crazy, stay tuned to see James Harden's insane car collection, his enormous mansion, and an exclusive look inside James Harden's lifestyle. Before we continue, make sure to smash that subscribe button and notification bar for more videos on some of the richest players in the world. At first, James was refused a high salary despite his talent. The Brooklyn Nets welcomed the 3-time scoring champion, James Harden, with open hands. This deal reunited him with Kevin Durant, and according to multiple reports, this opportunity gave him the career boost that he was waiting for. Harden moved to the Nets as part of a 4-team deal that also involved Indiana and Cleveland. Today, he is one of the highest paid players in the NBA, but it hasn't always been like that for James. Coming from a small town, James impressed the Oklahoma City Thunder, who then selected him in the 3rd pick of the 2009 draft. This position gave him the chance to claim an annual salary of over $4 million, which he received regularly until 2012. After that year, he fully revealed himself to viewers by reaching the NBA Finals with his team and even winning the 6th Man of the Year trophy. With his potential made clear, James Harden was then sent to the Houston Rockets by the general manager of the Oklahoma City Thunder team after he requested a salary increase at the end of his rookie contract. And since the Oklahoma City Thunder team was already paying big bucks for Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, they couldn't accept a 3rd high salary. However, his next opportunity led him to earn hundreds of millions. The owner of the Rockets, who were already impressed by Harden's talent, did not take long to negotiate a contract with Harden, and they didn't regret their decision to make him part of the team either. During his first year in Texas, James, or otherwise known as The Beard, was selected for his first All-Star game and recorded 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. In just 1 year, he was able to negotiate a 5-year contract for $80 million, and even after 3 years, the Houston Rockets were willing to reach yet another agreement with Harden for a 4-year extension worth $160 million. This gave him a 6-year contract that guaranteed him $228 million. This deal would be considered the biggest contract extension in all NBA history. This makes James Harden a pretty wealthy man, but his millions don't stop there. Between his draft in 2009 and his last season, James Harden has already earned $150 million, so he has even surprised Stephen Curry, who was a member of his draft league that made $130 million. Today, James is one of the most famous and highest paid players in the NBA. Now, James is about 32 years old. His contract will likely end in 2023, but this doesn't mean the end of his career. He is likely to follow Chris Paul's footsteps and sign a 4 or 5-year contract for $160 million. The NBA star might even cross $500 million by the time he reaches 40 years old, but this is only if his good physique remains until he's 40. How does Harden spend all these millions? In addition to his earnings on the basketball court, James Harden has lucrative sponsorship deals, including a 13-year contract he signed with Adidas back in 2015 that is worth $200 million. Did you know James Harden's beard earned him quite a lot of money? His endorsement earnings were estimated at $17 million prior to the deal with Trolley and $18 million after the deal. His highly dense beard really grabs the attention of the public. James can pretty much spend his money however he wants, and let me tell you, he loves spending it on his car collection. Harden has a huge variety of different cars for pretty much any occasion. The NBA player owns a Range Rover Sport that he bought for about $70,000. This is his most used vehicle, which he drives for casual trips around the city. During nights out, he usually rides a Rolls-Royce Wraith, which cost him about $300,000. The basketball player also has a yellow Chevrolet Camaro SS and an SUV Bentley Bentayga worth $160,000, as well as a cream-colored Mercedes-Benz S-Class sedan worth $110,000. It seems the only thing James struggles with when it comes to cars is picking the right one for the given occasion. Another thing he does is that he never lets his cars collect dust in the garage. Whenever he gets bored of them, he takes an extra step to modify them according to his taste. While entering the arena, fans and photographers take big notes of his outfits. There have even been reports saying that James has spent $500,000 on his wardrobe alone. Part of his super expensive wardrobe is his jewelry collection. James seems to enjoy spending money on jewelry and doesn't hesitate to show it off. One of his favorite watches is the Rolex President Everose Day Date. He's been seen wearing it at the Stance and Dwayne Wade's 4th annual Spades tournament. This watch costs around $50,000. The NBA player was also recently spotted spotted wearing a 40.5mm Patek Philippe Nautilus chronograph in 18K gold. The line of jewelry has been legendary since its launch in 1976 and is known to be pricey. Nautilus is one of the most wanted models in the watch world. To acquire this watch, you need to pay at least $150,000. Another super expensive watch of his collection is the 18K Audemars Piguet custom iced out diamond royal oak offshore, priced at $150,000 as well. However, James's wardrobe doesn't just include expensive watches. His clothes are also worth more money than we can make at our jobs. The most expensive item he's been seen wearing is a $6,900 worth Burberry coat. In his closet, you can also find a $985 pair of off-white pants and a $3,180 worth Rick Owens jacket. At the three-point contest, Harden was seen wearing a Vis Saint Laurent metallic leather biker jacket, priced at $4,680. His real estate will blow your mind. Curious what the NBA superstar's house looks like? In 2015, Harden purchased a luxury house in Houston for $2 million. This house was constructed in 2002 with Mediterranean design influences. It sits in a gated community within the Royal Oaks Country Club near a golf course. This property previously belonged to Cuttino Mobley, who is another NBA player. With 7,100 square feet of living space and 4 bedrooms, the house Harden lives in is quite luxurious. The home also sits on a half-acre plot of land, which includes an infinity pool and a spa. Notable features include a stone fireplace, a sweeping staircase, and a theater room. In 2019, Harden splurged on a much more expensive estate. He paid a shocking $10 million for the new residence, which sits on 3.5 acres of land in Rivercrest, which is an affluent suburban neighborhood in Houston. The residence features steel, modern-inspired construction, spanning a whopping 26,000 square feet. The home itself features a full bar, a wine room, and a fitness room. James also invests his money in businesses. With such wealth, James has invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in numerous businesses. Why? Well, because athletes retire much earlier than any profession, so they either need to find a job after playing or invest their money to give them a good stream of passive income in the future. Since Harden loves soccer, he joined the ownership of the women's team Houston Dash. He expanded his Houston fanbase with these moves. After this investment, the star is not shy of calling Houston his home. Harden also purchased $15 million worth of shares in Houston's Major League Soccer team, Houston Dynamo. When it comes to charity, James Harden tries to help people in need as well. In 2017, he made a $1 million donation for renovations and search operations when Hurricane Harvey hit Louisiana and Texas. Of course, the mayor of the city appreciated Harden's contribution during the hard times. The NBA star also said in an interview that every day he wakes up, he wants to make things legendary. His ultimate goal is to choose Houston and make it better. James gave out $240,000 to rebuild outdoor basketball courts in underserved areas that were ravaged by hurricanes. Playing basketball in outside parks was a big part of his upbringing and helped him make friends while growing up in Los Angeles. He thinks more children could benefit from these kinds of experiences today. He has also donated $100,000 towards scholarships for children. The Texas Southern University president has expressed great gratitude for his consistent community service. James might have left the city of Houston for New York, but the fans will forever remember his contributions both on and off the court. Well, this is how James Harden mostly spends his millions. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and check out our next upload.